Positive, encouraging KLOVE. It's Skip and Amy with Brandon Lake. This is incredible. What a year that you have had. First of all, we have to say congratulations on the Dove Award.
Thank you. Mind blowing.
Is that the weirdest thing when you are finally you're getting to that point where you love doing worship music and all of a sudden you decide, I'm going to do this thing. And now you have a Dove Award sitting there?
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, if you watch the clip on my Instagram, I'm literally bunkled over, just freaking out when they said my name. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way they just said my name. It's not possible. And to just be among my heroes and my mentors and to have my wife there. And I told her previously, I was like, man, if there's anything that means the most to me, it would be winning Songwriter of the Year. Oh. And so I freaked out. I mean, all my friends, they knew how much it meant to me. They're freaking out. It was so special. And because I still, consider myself so green, so young at doing this. And I'm so excited just to continue to learn and get better. And so for this early on, I mean, it means the world. You
mentioned heroes. Who would you say are some of your heroes that you've always I've listened to them since I was an itty bitty kid.
The GOAT, Chris Tomlin. Okay. It's just absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love Ed Cash and everything he's doing with We the Kingdom has been amazing. Kirk Franklin, it's been so cool to see how he's just been used for years and continuing to do amazing things. And oh my goodness, Natalie Grant, Tasha Cobbs Leonard has been one of the biggest mentors to me and become a big sister to me. And so I just feel honestly, Dove Awards, it already, even though it's only been, I've attended twice, but it already feels like a family reunion. And I feel like this little bro that everybody just comes around and they just lift me up and keep encouraging me. It's amazing.
You've been twice. You walked away with one. That's 500. That's pretty good average right there, bud. I keep going.
Right.
That's fantastic. As a songwriter, I mean, we have to point out that some folks, they know the name, they've heard the song, but they don't realize that this songwriting thing you have been doing for a long time. You've been working with some great people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been a local church dude since I was born, really. Grew up in the church. I'm a PK. Grew up in a church plant in Myrtle Beach. And as I started getting into leading worship, playing guitar, then leading worship at 15, I just fell in love with songwriting. And I've kind of began to accidentally do it. Phil Wickham has been my ultimate hero. I can't even believe I didn't mention him a second ago. Phil Wickham, I have probably imitated more than anyone else in this industry. And I look up to him so much. So just coming off of a tour with him too has been a bucket list, but I just started writing songs for me, trying to sound like Phil Wickham, and rewrite his songs and try to write songs like that. And then started doing it for my church and started doing it for every church that I was at. And then as I found other writers out there, it's blossomed into something really special. It's what my heart burns for more than anything is resourcing the church with great songs.
And a song that our KLOVE listeners are now being introduced to is Too Good to Not Believe.
Yes.
Tell us the passion behind that song. And that's one of my turn it all the way up, windows down, even when it's cold and rainy, sing real loud songs.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Man, I've been on a wild journey the past few years. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in a church where I saw miracles, but more like provision, miracles of provision, nothing too crazy. But the past few years, I've just really had a heart for praying for people and wanting to see healing take place. And I just think either the Bible's all real or it's not. Right. God's real or he's not. And and my Bible says that miracles, signs, and wonders follow those who believe. And I just want to continue to, even in the times where I feel like I don't believe or I have unbelief, I always want to take that opportunity to push myself back towards belief. And every time I pray for somebody, that it lifts my faith and it helps me to exercise that faith. And so the past few years at my church, which is very, I would say, maybe charismatic roots, but with the seatbelt on really tight,
right?
So it's not stuff we would experience all the time, really ever. And then this crazy thing happened where we just had a night we were praying for anyone that had cancer or any kind of pain in their body. And y'all, hundreds of miracles happened that night.
Wow.
My pastors are literally, they're like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what happened. But church started at 6:00 and ended I got home at 1:37 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And it wasn't weird. It was not spooky. It was not growing up a little bit in my kind of denomination and culture, the Holy Spirit was kind of like the weird uncle. And so, and it wasn't weird. And it was just us. It was just like the Bible says, lay hands on the sick and they will recover. And we're just like, let's go after that, And so y'all, we saw legit like hundreds of miracles. And so my eyes have just been opened up to our God, the God that healed and that we read about in the Bible. Like, he is so alive and moving today. And I just want to encourage people, like, I think expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. And so I just want to be expectant. I want to see God move. And so we got together with a few friends.
Wow.
And we literally we accidentally wrote the song. Basically, we were not planning on writing that day. And so, Chris Davenport and was there that day, and Cody Carnes, and we just started talking about all the things we had been seeing in our churches, the things that God was doing, and we started naming them. And we're like, maybe this is a song. Like, maybe we need to like have a testimony song of all the things that we've seen.
Yeah.
And so, boom, hour and a half later, we have this song. And we even put our friend Joshua Silverberg on the song, even though he wasn't even present writing it, because we were so influenced by him. He's taught us just how to love people well, pray for people. Wow. And he has this term, and he says, man, God heals because he loves. It's in his nature. And so when we put that in the song, we're like, bro, say a word, get a third, So we put him on the song, and it's been amazing to carry that song. I've been able to do it on tour, and we go into a time just praying for people, and not just for physical healing, but obviously we've been through a crazy time. People are dealing with depression and anxiety, right. And where the Spirit of God is, there's freedom, and so we just believe that's happened. Every time we pray.
You triggered something. First of all, I want to back up to the point when you and Phil, you guys did not stop during the height of the pandemic. You guys were out there getting in front of people,
yes, sir.
Sharing the message and sharing the music. And you just wrapped up a tour that really started over 2 years ago. Just you guys just showing up, the three of you, and just playing your hearts out. And I think there was a time when we needed it. And I know Phil was telling me that there was a period there would be like 6 people in the crowd, but no, they needed to be there. You all needed to be there to praise and worship with them, and good for you.
Oh, thank you.
But when you talking about people right now, what they're going through, it's ironic because we're going to talk about this tomorrow morning. There's a what was the ministry? The people
it's talking about surviving the holidays.
Yes,
and it started by a pastor who went through a divorce, and then all of a sudden Christmas hit, and her kids weren't with her, and she started thinking about so many people who have gone through horrible situations, whether it be the loss of a loved one or a divorce, and all of a sudden the holidays look so much different, and it's her teaching people to find the joy in the midst of all these trials and tribulations. And really that's what you're talking about, right? Finding God in the midst of it, because this world stinks. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff here that you just want to just fall down and give up.
Right.
But you can find God in the midst of that.
You can. And I would encourage you to realize that you have a gift to give to God that not even the angels can give him. Because when we worship through disappointment and through death and letdowns and a broken heart, like that's a kind of worship. When our worship is laced with disappointment and letdown and like that's a kind of gift that we can give the Lord that not even angels can. Like they don't even understand that, And so I think that the Lord is so proud, and that kind of worship is so precious to him when we gather and we worship in the midst of these trials.
Wow. I read something in your bio and it really hit me, and I want you to go a little bit further. And you said Christians should be the freest people on the planet. When I feel like so many times, and I felt this as a Christian, that you have, you're strapped back and you have the handcuffs on, don't do this and don't do that. And you're saying we should be the freest people on the planet.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, if everything that we base our faith on is freedom and salvation, like a lot of times I look at the church and I'm like, why don't we look like it?
Yeah.
Why don't we act like it? And I mean, like if we're the hope of the world, like I believe Jesus said, like the church, like we are the hope of the world. Like I think it's time we start acting like that. We like having hope and living like that. And so as I lead, if you guys watch me, I lead with quite a lot of freedom and very expressive. And you know what? Like, I don't always feel that way.
Right.
But there's sometimes like there's a physical response to the Lord that unlocks a very spiritual and emotional kind of awareness to his presence, to his goodness. And so even when my heart doesn't feel like it, I'm going to throw my hands up, because there's something about throwing your hands up and surrendering that ignites my heart again, And so I want people I want them to, if they're a believer, like who the Son sets free is free indeed. Like I want that to be a real reality for people, you know, and not just something we quote and it feels nice, but like I want to see freedom on people's face, you know, and so if I can be an example of that, Lord, here I am. I'll be wild for you.
It's a great picture. It's a great picture that you paint. You know, the other day we were talking about something that can do that instantly makes you feel 180 degrees better. And not one person said, throw your hands up in the air. That's the best way to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. Instantly resetting it to, how could you not feel better by doing that?
Going down a water slide maybe works for some people. Maybe just throw your hands up.
Yeah.
I like it because I think it's easier to throw your hands up than to find a water slide.
Of course it is.
Yeah. I want to get to know, because Brandon, so many people are maybe just meeting you for the first time. So I had some secret questions over here hidden.
Okay.
And this is a dozen questions. These are quick. So just like give us like a one sentence type thing.
I'm so bad at these. Okay.
So this is a dozen questions to get to know Brandon.
Okay.
What is your favorite animal?
Okay, it's the fish, the angler fish. It's the one that has a light bulb on the front of its head.
What?
Did I just crush that?
That was awesome.
That was quick.
Have you ever seen an angler?
The angler fish, the one with the light bulb and Finding Nemo.
Exactly.
Yeah. And my name, Brandon, means a light. So I'm like, that's my spirit animal.
Oh.
It's a really ugly fish, though.
You used to have the goofy teeth?
Yeah, really bad.
No, yours are much better than an angler fish.
Yeah, nice teeth.
Mom and Dad made me get those fixed.
Yeah, the braces.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going through
Thanks,
two
Mom and
sets of
Dad.
braces right now. Question 2. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Oh my goodness. I fell in love with Australia. Been one time and absolutely loved it. I'd love to take my wife back there.
Would you like dance and jump with the kangaroos?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Actually, we spent some time with some koalas. It was fire. It was awesome.
Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, okay. Man, you guys are going to think I'm like a fish freak or something, but marine biology. Yeah, loved it. Actually, thought I was like, okay, if this works a thing, like if God, doesn't work out, it calls me elsewhere, maybe I'll study
Nothing wrong with that.
the water and those weird fish.
Flipper. Was it Flipper?
Flipper.
Flipper is
yeah.
a dolphin.
Thank you. Well, he could go swimming with
Used
the
to be. I'm sure he's gone now.
Okay.
He's a little dolphin head.
I should have said recess, honestly. Art class, recess, marine biology. I'm trying to make myself sound a little smarter.
No, you're awesome. You're perfect. How do you spend your free time?
Oh, wrestling my boys. I have 2 boys, and they're 7 and almost 5, Blaze and Bo. And honestly, especially traveling so much right now, when I'm home, when I have free time, we're playing every sport imaginable, like in 15-minute segments. And my youngest is has such an amazing imagination that he incorporates monsters and Nerf guns. And so we could be playing football, basketball, monsters, and Nerf guns all in one thing. So it's like that. It's wrestling, Now,
is Bo more like you or your wife?
Bo is more like my wife. Blaze is more like me. Yeah. Especially like body types and stuff too. Like Blaze is really tall, string bean.
Yes.
Not that I'm a string bean, but he's very tall, lanky, and
there are those moments where he's going to do something. You just kind of like, oh,
he's the troublemaker. Yes. Yes. I have those moments all the time.
Well, there's a little something.
This is just a side note. As I'm looking and you're talking about string bean, you look like Scooby-Doo's best friend. What's his name?
Oh my
Shaggy.
gosh. Shaggy?
That's a huge compliment. I love Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo.
Okay. I'll receive that as a compliment.
Is it not a compliment, Brandon? I'm sorry if it's not.
No, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I think you're fibbing. I love Scooby-Doo. And I'm thinking, that'd be so much fun. We could solve mysteries together.
Yes.
Morning or night person?
Man, I was a night person, but now I think I'm a morning person.
Yeah, it'll happen to you, buddy.
Kids.
Right?
Yeah, they'll
Kids
do it to you.
that. Favorite food?
Favorite food, tacos, for sure.
Ooh.
Who makes the best tacos?
There was this taco spot we went on a tour in San Diego.
Yes.
And some guy drives us like 20 minutes out from the venue. And it was like an old gas station that they had turned into a taco spot.
Yep.
And they had cow tongue. They had La Lengua. I think I'm saying it right, La Lengua.
Yep.
They had, which my favorite is the El Pastor. That is amazing. Pork with like pineapple salsa. Oh my gosh.
This is
You haven't had Mexican
I have not.
too. You've had San Diego Mexican.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At a gas station. With
Yeah.
fries and-
Usually.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
the best tacos you can find in Dallas, Texas are at a gas station.
What is
Absolutely the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Tacos, favorite food, favorite movie or TV show?
The Office.
Okay.
1,000,000%.
Ooh. Biggest pet peeve?
People who ask you what your pet peeve is.
Yeah, legit. Legit.
Oh, now listen.
My biggest pet peeve is asking, what is your pet peeve? And I never have a good answer.
Okay, well, we'll move on then. Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Well, Christmas, of course.
Okay. Skill you'd like to learn?
Skill I'd like to learn. Okay, I'm just going to be really honest and be that guy. Sorry if this offends everybody, but I would love to learn how to actually tattoo.
Oh.
You know how they practice that?
How do they practice that?
Grapefruit.
Oh, that's right.
Or how do you do melon?
Yep. Or
that's how they practice.
Pig skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being honest, I love art.
Yeah.
Just love. And so either being some kind of painter, artist, or I just think tattoo art is so cool.
Value most in a friend?
Honesty.
And biggest irrational fear?
Wow.
Wow.
Huh.
Biggest irrational fear.
Don't look at me.
Like spiders or boogeyman?
Doorknobs.
Like Sasquatch or something?
Yeah, the Yeti.
The Yeti.
Okay.
Sasquatch.
All right.
Works.
That's done.
I don't know.
we're
Yeah,
out.
there we go. All right. Sasquatch.
That's easy enough. This is a question I love to ask. This is when you're standing at a microphone at KLOVE, your song, your music, it touches people's lives. It's changed people's lives. You have an opportunity to speak to 18 million people right now. What do you want them to hear?
This might sound elementary, but there's nothing more I would want every single one of you to know than that you are so deeply loved. And you're precious. It reminds me of something, actually. My son recorded this little song on my phone, and it was so profound, even though it was so simple. And he sings this little song completely spontaneously. And he just says, you're special. He made you. You're special. He loves you. He loves you. And he thinks you're awesome, you know?
Oh.
Sometimes it's like, I think I want to go back to that simple, just that truth that I couldn't be more loved than I am right now. He loves you to death. And he has amazing things planned for you. You can take my life as an example. It's not been perfect, but I believe God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than what you ever ask or imagine according to the power that he has placed inside of you. That's Ephesians 3:20. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than what you ask or imagine, according to the power he put inside of you. So you have power inside of you, resurrection power. And he doesn't want to just meet your dreams. He wants to exceed them. And I think when we're faithful to God, when we follow his leading, his guiding, and which could sound overwhelming, but as my mom said, Brandon, just wake up every single day, take it day by day, and just say, Lord, this morning, I surrender. Whatever you have for me today, I give you my yes. And a lot of those yeses over time has not just led to my dreams coming true, but God has exceeded them. And I want to remind you that not only are you loved, but God has amazing things planned, things you wouldn't even understand if he told you, because he's that good of a God.
Too good to not believe.
He is too good to not believe.
Mm-hmm.